What's up, guys? Christian Review Cave here, back with another Black Clover video after actually 3 weeks of nothing. I've explained this in my My Hero Academia review video that I've wanted to do this Black Clover review at the same time as my One Piece Chapter 1000 review, but I did not have the time to do this recording. So, yeah, I'm sorry for that. I know there are people that actually do enjoy seeing my ugly mug make videos like this. And I will actually try to make them a bit more showy in the future just to, make it more entertaining. Because, let's face it, I don't think a lot of you want to see my face the entire time, but it'd be nice to see my honest reactions or my facial expressions as I talk about these chapters. But, yeah, moving on, let's just get right into chapter 277 of Black Clover. Now, this comes off right at the end of the previous chapter, which shows Yuno unleashing his new his new Boreas form against Zenon, and actually showing that he might actually be able to overpower him, and he uses his halberd to hit him with one fatal attack. Zenon is bleeding, and from the shading of this panel, we might actually get it's more like a false sense of security from what I can tell, because there's no way Yuno could just one-shot or two-shot Zenon. Because remember, he hasn't gone beyond, I think, 40% of his power. I believe he's still at 40% of his devil's power, so that's still left to be seen. Longress is actually the one that says, yes, we might actually be able to do this. Take him down and save Captain Vengeance. So, will Longress die? Nah, I'm joking around, but he said the one thing that no character should ever say when a fight is going on, just as your shows you're actually possibly going to be able to hold your own. And as we get a brief glimpse of Yami and Vengeance in the coffins they're in for the Trio Cliffhouse ritual, we zip right on to Vanica. So from how things have been going on lately, last chapter had a confrontation with Zenon. This chapter is going to be Vanica against Charlotte and Rill. So I think next chapter will show Noct and Jack against Dante. Now, that's going to be an interesting fight, which I can't wait to read, if I am right. Because from what I can tell, this next chapter will probably be a setup just like this one and the previous one. But yeah, moving on. So Vanica is kind of disappointed, hoping that maybe like the anti-magic kid, so Asta or Noelle would have actually shown up to fight her, because she really saw potential in Noelle and took Loro Pachica so Noelle could get stronger. Which, let me just say this. Noelle and her group, as well as the rest of the Black Bulls, haven't arrived along with Asta, so they're probably still undergoing their training. And I'm not going to lie, I am really, really liking everything that's going on. And I said this in a previous video. I want the elves to come back to actually fight, because I think Pantry sees Vengeance as his first real friend, the first real human that he considers a friend. So if he comes to fight the Spade Kingdom, I think he'll team up with Yuno, since they both have a connection to Vengeance. Possibly Fauna will team up with Noelle due to them fighting. There's not really much connection there. I think Veto will join Mereolion on the outside if that giant devil god thing that they unleashed is still alive even after Mereolion's insane attack, or maybe they have more of them. And I see Raya joining Asta in his fight against Dante when Asta eventually arrives, which I honestly want to see. I really do want to see the elves come back. They were pretty awesome. But one quick thing I really want to mention before I continue this. Black Clover has been getting standard length chapters recently, and I really do appreciate it from Tabata, because recently it's been like 15 pages, 16 pages, or sometimes even 13 or 14. It's always been in that middle ground of 13 to 16 chapters, sometimes 17, but recently they've been around 17 to 19 chapters, which is roughly a standard length, aside from 20. So I really appreciate the fact that he's putting in the time to me these chapters as long as they originally were. But yeah, moving on, Vanica's a bit disappointed that it's Charlotte and Rill that have showed up and she unleashes two of the Diamond Kingdom's Shining Generals, which are controlled by her curse magic, and thanks to the scientist that the Spade Kingdom managed to get from the Diamond Kingdom, he gave them a bit of an upgrade with the diamonds, with the gems embedded into their bodies. So we do get to see a bit of the matchup between these generals, and Vanica is a bit disappointed in everything, though she is somewhat intrigued over the paint magic. So that's honestly something really good, and I love how Rill is kind of doing something. But despite her disappointment, we do get a flashback from Charlotte after Vanica insults Yami, saying that if he lost to Dante, or if Zeno managed to capture him, he's probably not all that. And you don't mess with Charlotte's man. You're saying that it's both true and funny at the same time. But yeah, that's honestly gonna... But anyway, we actually get a flashback saying that Charlotte actually was part of the group of Magic Knights that went to the Heart Kingdom to do training with the magical rays, with the runes. And she finds the true nature of the curse that was placed on her family, and now she has managed to unlock it by using her mana method. She learned mana method, which is honestly pretty awesome. So she used her mana method and created and used modified Briar Magic Blue Rose Paradise. And using this, it wraps around the 8 Shining Generals, and their curses are being absorbed into it, causing them to bloom. And Vanica removing her eye patch, Megicula shows his face, saying that she managed to overcome the power of her own curse and turned it into a special anti-curse spell, which is awesome. And he even finds this incredibly fascinating. And so, despite all this, I'm just going to read this real quick. Missions and friendly rivalries with Magic Knights, the Elves' reincarnation, the rune arrays of the Heart Kingdom. Everything till now has nourished my magic. And now this is her current blue rose. And this is her rightful red rose. Because remember, she originally had red roses. The curse turned them blue, and she was only able to use blue roses. So yeah. And now she has her new magic. True Briar magic. She is the queen of Briars. And I love that she got a new form just like Leona. And I'm glad that Charlotte is actually getting some more love here in the series, because a lot of the Magic Knights, especially the captains, needed a lot of their time. And she was one of the Magic Knights that didn't really do much because she was possessed by an elf during the Elf Reincarnation arc. So it's nice to actually see her doing something and showing her full power as a captain. And I love Rill's reaction to Charlotte's reveal, saying that she became a Magic Knight captain without even utilizing her full power. That is hilarious. And Vanica, ecstatic by this, goes up to, I believe, her 70% devil form and charges straight at Charlotte. Charlotte dodges, but then has her Briars latch onto her. And since, Megicula is the originator of curses, and I love the fact that, I just kind of glanced over this earlier, that Dorothy actually said that all the curses in the world of Black Clover originated from Megicula. Now, I can't speak today, but basically her Rose Thorns her Briars managed to surround Megicula and Vanica, ensnaring them and starting to take their cursed power. And while Vanica is saying, I want a real fight, trust me, let me loose, we can have a real fun fight, as the Briars are overtaking her. And Charlotte just saying that people like Vanica are not her thing, and thus the chapter ends with Vanica getting surrounded by the Briars in a ball, seemingly defeated by Charlotte in, and I have to say, a really awesome looking pose from Tabata. So I have to admit, this was a really good chapter, and I like that Charlotte actually got her time to shine. I didn't mention this, but Rill and Charlotte actually did some pretty good teamwork against Vanica and the 8 Shining Generals. But the fact that Vanica managed to get captured by Charlotte was the fact that She let her guard down, as Charlotte said, thus gave her the perfect opportunity to grab her in this trap and siphon off the cursed energy, which means Magicula, Vanica, they are the ones that brought about their own destruction. Because now that this is an anti-curse spell, she's actually able to siphon off all the cursed energy. Now, Magicula probably has a shit ton of curse power. No, and I don't think they're going to stay like that because Vanica has her blood magic. So she might be able to get free using her blood magic to the fullest extent as possible. But yeah, I really do like this ending of the chapter, giving us the idea that all of these members, especially the captains, not only have gotten their new forms. I mean, we got 3 new forms in the last 3 chapters. Merliona's new Hellfire Incarnate form, Yuno's Boreas form, Charlotte's Queen of Briars, and we already know Nox one form with damn, I forgot his dog devil's name, but he's off with Asta, so we might actually get to see Nox switch between the 3 devils he currently has in his possession, and maybe Jack will get a new form as well. So that's going to be something awesome. But seeing as how each of the chapters has ended so far with a victory for the Clover Kingdom, we might actually see the tides turn, considering that no one has actually gone up above 70% except for Dante. And I believe it was stated by Lucifero back in his fight with, I believe it was back in his fight against Asta and Yami, that a devil user can only use up to, I believe, 90% of their power. So Dante only used 80, and Zenon, I believe, he can only go up to 50. Vanica can go up to 70. So what this can mean is that maybe once everyone will get their turn to shine, everyone will do something to take them out. But Dante will be the most difficult because, remember, the only reason Dante was defeated was not only because Yami was so powerful, but also because they had Asta's anti-magic to deal the final blow. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. But yeah, I really do think that we're going to get, each chapter is going to not just set everything up, but also end off with these Magic Knight squads managing to get the upper hand on the Dark Triad, only for them to unleash more of their Devil's Power and destroy them, and then have the rest of the Magic Knights show up to help. Now, I know Noel and Asa are going to show up. You know he's definitely going to take down Zenon. And the rest of the Black Bulls are definitely going to show up because they're the main crew. They're going to do whatever they can to win. They're the main characters team. But there is something that I am kind of curious about. And that is how this will end. Because we all know Asta is going to get his new Devil Union form. But how can all these matchups end up ending? Because we do have a lot of these characters, set up to how they're supposed to be set up. I mean, it is something interesting, but how is this going to play out? Because I honestly see Yuno not finding Zenon alone. He can't. He obviously can't. So it's possible that the rest of the Black Bulls will show up to help Yuno and everyone else. I see Finral helping out against Zenon with his special magic. Even though it's not attack-based, it can in fact help out Yuno. And maybe we'll have... I haven't figured out all the pairings, but the 2 members of the Black Bulls that I really, really want to see, and I think everyone wants to see, Magna and Zora. They have not been present whatsoever aside from one flashback, and it was only Magna, in this current arc. Since the beginning of the time skip, they have not been shown. We do not know what they look like after the time skip. They don't even have to look different. But still, I want to see them. I mean, Zora might actually be able to be someone that can take down Zenon or Dante. We have no idea how strong they become during this arc, during the time skip, and I really want to see them. Zoro is one of my favorite characters in the Black Bulls, in Black Clover in general, and I just want to see him actually do something. Because he played a major role in the reincarnation arc, and I just want to see the rest of the Black Bulls, specifically Zora and Magna, since they haven't been featured yet. Tabata's definitely waiting for them to show up at some point. Probably to come in clutch and save the day, or give them the added firepower they need. But until then, they've just been written out of the story, only briefly mentioned like twice. I want to see them come in. And yeah, other than that, this was honestly another solid chapter for Black Clover. And I really, really do hope that everything I said comes true. And top it up, plays with my expectations a bit more. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you also enjoyed this chapter of Black Clover as well. I will attempt to do my weekly reviews again, probably with a similar setup as before. If not, I'll probably just keep alternating and see what works best and what is more comfortable for myself. But yeah, with all that's said and done, I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you all next time.